Hey everybody, how are you? This is Urban X-pressions NewsMag Live. I gotta go start the radio. Give me 1 second, but we are here. We are here. We have Good Life Christian University, and I'm gonna go start the radio real quick. All right, we are now live on the radio, Urban X-pressions Radio.com, Radio.com. So who do we have here? Do we have Karen or do we have Greg? I see Greg, so we're gonna go there. Who are we with today? Urban X-pressions NewsMag Live. We are now live on UrbanX-pressions.radio.com. Hello!
How are you?
Oh, good to see you. What? I thought you were at 8:30, but that's all right. You're a little early today.
I just want to chime in. It all feels good. The vibe is already good, so I wanted to be a part of the vibe itself.
All right. I am not mad at you. So everybody, Good Life Christian University doctoral candidate, his name is Gregory Cole. And I'm like, all right, okay. So now I know who you are. How do I get on? Karen, what you have to do is just request to join. Let me see if I can request to have her join. You just request to join. Oh, let me you have to request to join. It won't allow me to request you to join, but you have to if you're on your phone, you have to request to join. But in the meantime, in between time, how are you, Mr. Gregory Cole?
I am well. I'm here in the beautiful state of Kansas. All is well. Oh yeah.
Oh man, how'd you get to Kansas?
Well, I was on active duty in the military.
Oh, okay. And Kansas was one of your latest stops, or you still?
It was my final stop after 25 years.
Your final stop. So, do you like Kansas?
Oh yeah, been here 33 years now. Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
33 years. So out of all the places you've been, so talk about, because we know one is Philadelphia, of course.
Oh yeah. My manhood is Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I got to Philadelphia when I was 21 years old. I didn't leave until I was like 35 maybe. What? I'm from Baltimore, born and raised.
Born and raised in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
You spent your manhood here in Philadelphia, which gave us the amazing doctor.
I did. I was one of the fortunate dads to be able to cut the cord and bring life to her. So I thought that was an excellent experience right there. Very few people get an opportunity to do that.
I know that's right. We're going to talk all about, hello, Karen, you made it.
Hi. Hello. Yes, I made it. I thought I was going to be coming on after Mr. Cole, so I'm sorry I jumped on. I'm still learning how
you were 8 o'clock and he's 8:30, but he wanted to be a part of the vibe. So we're just vibing all together. That's it. That is it. So
that sounds good.
We're going to have an amazing conversation. We were just talking about how he's in Kansas and how he's been to many, many places. So we'll talk about the road to where you've been, and then we'll come to you, Karen, and talk about your road. So originally, You're from Baltimore, right?
Absolutely.
Then the military took you to how many different places?
Oh, please. I've lived overseas. I lived in Germany. I've lived in Asia. I've lived in Hawaii. So I had the good fortune of traveling the globe. I am extremely fortunate.
Extremely fortunate, man. You a globe, what is it, a globe trotter? That
That's
is
it.
amazing. And what was one of your favorite places?
I believe of all of them, I would say Korea. Korea was a great place to live. Hawaii was okay. It was a great, it does one of those tourist places.
That's
And
where I
Germany, the light.
always wanted to go. I always saw the dream of Hawaii.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's the
Yes,
dream.
indeed. My wife and I will be there this February. I graduated from high school in Hawaii.
Oh
I
my
graduated from St.
goodness.
Louis High School. Oh, yeah.
So you were personally in the military, but was your family in the military?
But no, just me. No, I joined the military in the mid 70s during at the time when Vietnam was coming to an end.
Oh,
And I
okay.
joined the military. And I tell folks I left the war and joined the Army because back in Baltimore in the early 70s, there was a lot of things going on back then. And so I just up and left and dropped out of high school, all of that. And then and ended up getting my high school diploma while serving in the military.
Wow, what an incredible story. And if you're just joining us, this is the doctoral candidates of Good Life Christian University. And Mr. Gregory Cole and Miss Karen Fraser are the guests for today. But the Cole name, if you understand who Dr. Clyde Cole, we call it Clyde Shireen, but Dr. Clyde Cole, this is her dad. This is her dad, you know? So welcome. And Karen, I was going to say Dr. Karen Fraser, but I'm actually practicing what we're about to say. So Dr. Karen Fraser, she has the Get Fit for the Lord's use or for God's use. You're all about getting fit and healthy. I'm just like, you talking my language. So let's talk about your beginning journey.
So are we going back to 1961 when I was born?
Let's go back to 1961 when you were born. Let's go back to the beginning. You are, we'll talk about where you are now, but what did you want to do and be when you were a child? And you said, when I grow up, I want to be what?
Well, the funny thing is, I always wanted to be a veterinarian. Oh, yeah, because I loved animals and loved taking care of them. Used to bring in the stray animals off the streets. And so, yeah, that was my childhood aspiration, being a veterinarian. But that, as I got older, that changed. And yeah, so I love helping people, and never knew anything about taking care of the body. You know, thank God the Lord saved me when I was very young, because as a young child, I was into a lot of stuff, and going on a downward spiral in my life. And God rescued me at the age of 12. And when I tell people what I was involved in as a young person, it surprises them when I tell them that I was saved when I was 12, because they said, "What? You did all that before you were 12?" Yes. And
so
then,
I
I
want to know what you did before 12. Okay, you said start at 1961. What did you do before 12?
Well, I was doing some of, I grew up, my mother was an alcoholic, and so I didn't have a lot of supervision. I was the oldest child, and dabbing into drinking and smoking. And as a young child, I was shoplifting and just fighting and really out of control. My teachers couldn't control me. It was just a mess. I was a mess. But thank God, because I was so full of anger because of different things I went through as a child, different abuse and all of that. But anyway, make a long, long story short, I came to Philadelphia to live with my grandmother. I was living in New York, and I relocated to Philadelphia to live with her because I just wanted to get away from that New York life. But that was all divinely arranged by God, because at the age of 12, let me backtrack. When I came here at 11, I was a rebel in school. The teachers, like I said, they couldn't control me. I was fighting every day. Just a mess. And the Lord saved me when I was 12. and turned my life around. As a matter of fact, a teacher who told me you'll never be anything in life. I came to school after being saved that summer, and she asked me, "Who are you?" They couldn't believe the change. So the Lord started the deliverance process, and it amazes me today. But moving further, because there's a lot involved in that story, and you can read it in the upcoming book, Amen, that story. But moving forward, when my daughter was born, I have 3 children. My daughter's the youngest. When she was born, I started having these symptoms in my body. And I just didn't feel right. And I knew nothing, like I said, about health. Went to the doctor. They told me I had a condition called hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. So I asked the doctor, well, what can I do about it? And he told me, well, you'll probably have this for life. It may change to diabetes as you get older, but there's really nothing you can do. And the only nutritional advice I got from him was, if you eat cake, drink milk. So that just didn't sound too nutritious to me. Yeah. So I went home, went on a 3-day fast, and I'm going to cut this short. But I went on a 3-day fast and asked the Lord to heal me instantaneously. Thank God he did not do that. But what he did was he put me on a road of learning. He blessed me to meet an herbalist and a nutritionist around the same time, even though they were disconnected from one another. The herbalist taught me how to use herbs and vitamin supplements to give my body the support it needed. The nutritionist taught me how to eat right. And combining the 2 programs together, within 3 months, I had no more symptoms of hypoglycemia. And that's been about 37 years now. So I had no symptoms, none of that. No chronic illnesses. I'm 63 and I'm in very good health. The doctors are surprised. I have no chronic illnesses, no medication. Haven't used medication in over 30 years, not even Tylenol. I mean, the Lord has blessed me, but the Lord put me on this road, and I realized that eating right was important for overall well-being. So I went to school, became a certified natural health practitioner, and it's just been uphill ever since. You know, the Lord has blessed me to understand the body-mind relationship. So I went and became a mental health coach. I wanted to be able to help people with their total lifestyle change. So I went and got a certification as a life coach. And just the desire to help people has put me on this trajectory. And that's why I'm here today.
That's a powerful story on why you're here today. Whoa, man. I'm saying, look, we all want to get off of this medication. So you, as a certified and what you said, medical practitioner, natural health practitioner. You, as a natural, so you're able to help other people change their life, basically, change their life through health and maybe helping them get off the medicine.
Yeah, I'd never tell a person to stop medication, because the body becomes, of course, adjusted, and the body can go into shock if you just stop. But what I do is I take people through an assessment to try to determine where they are, find out where they want to go, and then help them to get there by helping them to learn how to give the body the nutrition. Because the way God made our bodies are really made to heal itself. But because we do not give the body the resources that the body needs in order to do that which God put in the earth for us, we don't do that. You know, we give the body things that feed the palate and not the cell, which is the foundation of who we are. So I teach people how to, in a simple way, you know, they don't have to go out there and eat twigs and leaves, but I teach them in a simplified way how to incorporate better healthy habits into their lives. And thank God the Lord has blessed me to be able to help many in doing that.
Oh, that's amazing, Dr. Karen Fraser and Dr. Gregory Cole. So Dr. Gregory Cole, after hearing the amazing work of Dr. Karen, what is the one thing that you said, listen, if I would have known that this existed, then this is something I would have needed. How do you feel about it?
For the health
The
or
health.
what Dr. Fraser is
The
saying?
health. The health.
I think it would have been helpful to know things early on in life. You know, there's a lot of us that learn things late in life, particularly depending on the environment and the culture to which you come from. I come from a large family, but I was never raised by my mother and father. You know, I knew them, but I wasn't raised by my parents. I grew up in the streets of Baltimore, passed from house to house to house until I was a certain age where I reconnected with the Cole side of the family, my grandmother to be exact. And so that brought about some life changes. And like Dr. Fraser, I too experienced some times where things were a bit challenging, where I had to go out and do some things that were what we consider wayward as a child. But I survived, and I survived by the grace of God. And like I said, I left the war and joined the army. And so that says a lot in itself. I'm extremely fortunate to be where I am right now today. And I have a son that owns his own gym here in Wichita. So I have a health conscious young man. Young man. He's 44. He's a little bit older than the chancellor. But we're fortunate to have someone that looks out for our health, and that's a great thing.
Wow. Look, your story is definitely both of you raised by your grandmother. Look, both of you raised by your grandmother, and yet pray. I'm thanking God that both of you 100 are on an amazing path. Life has been great for both of you. So, Dr. Karen, you are now embarking on will this be your first book?
Yes, a first official book.
Okay, do tell.
When I say official book, I've been writing since I was a child, and so this is the first time I'm actually looking to publish a book. Yeah.
Okay, looking to publish a book. And when is the really? Are you work? Is it currently? Are you working on it? Is it almost finished? What's the process?
I'm working on it. It's almost finished. I'm hoping by November it will be done, if not before. So that's my goal. I actually have a book that was published, but it's not. It's a long story, so it's not put out in the public. But this one will be put out and released, into the public setting.
And what?
Yeah. Trying to get my.
Will it talk about the healing power of the food? Is that the goal?
It's actually, it's talking about my journey and the journey that God took me on in order to heal me of a lot of my past hurts, things of that sort. So yes, it will have a little bit in there, just a little, about the health side as far as physical, but it's more so about emotional healing, mental healing, spiritual growth, just the journey that the Lord put me on. Really using the 12 steps without me even knowing it was 12 steps, if that makes sense, because when I look back, I actually had to take a class in concerning the 12 steps in order to get my certification in Christian counseling. And when I went through that class without ever knowing about the 12-step process, I said, wow, those are the steps God took me through to help me to heal from all that anger and hurt from past abuse. So it just intrigued me how the Word of God, a lot of times we think, we want God to always do things instantaneously because, that's the type of world we live in. We want things fast. We don't want to put forth the effort. We don't want to put forth the work. We want it quick and in a hurry. But God, when you look at the Word of God, God has different steps that He takes us through. He tells us about forgiveness. He tells us the importance of being kindly affectionate one toward another. He tells us the importance of letting go of bitterness and anger and malice. And if we apply those steps and utilize the things that God has given us, we will experience true growth, and we will experience what it really means to live the abundant life. Because I know there was a time in my Christian walk when I wasn't living the abundant life. I was full of so much mental and emotional pain. And I couldn't understand. I said, I'm praying, I'm fasting. Lord, what am I doing wrong? But the Lord began to show me, you have to forgive. You got to let go of bitterness. You got to let go of anger. You got to change. You got to put off and put on, so those steps. And that's what the book is going to be about, sharing those steps so that others can experience that healing and just enjoy life. God wants us to have abundant life. He really does. And not that it's going to be pain-free, but he enables us to go through the pain
Most
while we
certainly.
and rejoice
Wow.
and rejoice. Yeah.
Most certainly, most certainly. The other day, I had on my live. I said, God allowed me to feel like it's time to heal. I think a lot of people, it's time to heal. That was just a message. It's time to heal because a lot of us are walking around thinking we got it together, thinking we got it going on, but meanwhile we're out here hurting other folks because we haven't healed, but we don't actually always know where to get the healing from, or where the pain actually lies, right? So as a person, plus size person, I've always wondered, like, God, what is the break? What is the mental block? Sometimes I always feel like there's a block, because I understood that it was my from trauma from childhood, was the response was gaining weight. But now I'm like, well, what is the block? So how could you discover the block? Because I clearly know that it was a protection mechanism, right? My body protected me from
Okay.
from molestation and all that, right? So it's protection.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
like, well, how do you get past the block? Because you seem like you're working with the mindset in the middle. How do you get past those blocks to discover how someone can actually change from eating a cheeseburger and some cake? Because that's what my go-to is. Taking a cheeseburger and cake to heal the pain, to grabbing some vegetables. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Grabbing that spinach.
Well, I show people how they can still have the cheesesteak and have the spinach, So my grandson, he always teased and said, "Yeah, Grandma makes chocolate spinach," because and I show people how to incorporate. But one thing you said, and the key is getting to the root. Really understanding, where is this coming from? Doing some investigative work. It's not an overnight thing. It's a process. But and I do this not only with the mental, emotional, but with the health. I give people simple things to do in order to get a quick result. So if you give them something to do and they get a result, it makes them want to take the next step. They get okay, hey, I'm sleeping a little better now, so what else can I do? So it opens them up to receive more. So I try to give people little baby steps, just little baby steps to get to these roots and then deal with them. Because it's a lot. It is a lot. But through Christ, the Bible says we can do all things. And we're more than conquerors through him who loves us. So when we are walking with the Lord and he's taking us through our valleys and our mountains, and we're learning to incorporate the things that he has given us in order to experience true growth, then you are more open to receive more. When you see growth, you're open to receive more. Because I know there was a time when I felt that I was really, like they used to label me, I was useless. I felt, I was suicidal. I wanted to die. And I was saved now. I was saved. But I wanted to die because I felt that my life could not really contribute. All right. And the Lord, like I said, the Lord had to help me to, first of all, recognize that he created me for more. And because I'm still alive, that there was a purpose for me. And then through prayer, seeking him, and through so many doors that God opened up for me to really see how to actually get the healing that I needed. It was through therapy, through listening to programs, through reading certain books. The Lord would just open up things to me. I would find books and open it, and bam, there was a solution. So little things along the way God would give me. So that's why when I work with people, I try to give them little things along the way.
I definitely like the little things. But all right, here we have Dr. Kalai Cole. I'm gonna call her Cole today because Dr. Cole on the top, Dr. Cole on the bottom. Listen, we got Dr. Cole all up and through here.
Kind of like the way it's lined up. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at my face at the bottom screen.
Yes, and it is amazing. It is amazing to see the two faces. to see the two faces. I'm excited. This has been an amazing night. Just actually everything here, everything we're talking about. So Dr. Kalai is here. She is the president and founder of Good Life Christian University. And guess what? Everyone here, of course, she's already got her doctorate, but the two guests are doctoral candidates, and we are excited about what's going on. And Dr. Gregory, see, we're calling the doctors already. I'm getting ready. We're what, 30? Less than 30 days out. Less than 30 days out before the big celebration. So I'm getting ready. I'm getting used to calling you doctor.
Yeah.
So Dr. Gregory, listen, so you've heard the amazing stories. Your stories are coming from being raised by your grandmother. Now your path went a different way. You said, listen, I'm out of here. I'm going into the service, which coming right off of war. To me, it sounds like, why would you do that? We just came from war. We could go back. Why?
No, it's when I mentioned that, I'm speaking of the streets of Baltimore. Back then it was hard living on the streets. It was extremely hard, and so joining the military gave me an option to get out and learn new things, to get creative as I began to get older in life, and just to reflect on something Dr. Fraser said. I learned what I've learned up until this point is be not dismayed. Just wait. Just learn to wait. And God will take care of the rest of everything for you. Stop trying to diagnose your own situation. He's already done it for you. So don't worry about all of the mess. Just keep on living, and you'll find out in due time what you are and who you belong to. And God will expose everything in his own time and purpose. What he does want us to do, though, is to be mindful that we need to intervene on ourselves. We need to raise the heat on ourselves. We need to create enough disequilibrium in ourselves to be creative, to step outside the box like Chancellor Cole has done to create a university. It's a place where people can just gain a better understanding of their own leadership acumen, their own profession, and how to engage other people, particularly the unusual voices that are out there. There's so many people that are worthy of this program that Dr. Fraser and I are about to receive, and we're grateful. I'm almost certain that she is as grateful as I am, but I'm more interested in making sure that people understand that you have got to live your life to its fullest and learn to wait on God, because he will make things happen for you. And I'm blessed. Like I said, I graduated from high school in Honolulu, Hawaii. Who gets a chance to say that coming out of the projects of Baltimore? I feel great about that. And all my formal education took place here in Kansas. You asked me earlier, do I like Kansas? I love Kansas. And I married the first woman I met in Kansas. I've been here 33 years. We've been married 33 years. And so I don't believe in wasting time doing the obvious, doing things that are out of place. So that's my girl. She's in the other room. I know she's ear hustling on this conversation. Yes, indeed. But it's Kelly's second mother and friend. And so to be able to have good people around you and live a life that is worthy of all of his goodness and grace. I'm fortunate. I feel good about the position I'm in. All of my formal education is here. I have an associate's degree. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I have a master's degree in leadership. And part of the reason why I teach for two colleges here. So this is not new for me. I do platform instructing on a regular basis. I teach seminars. I have 3 shows on PBS right now. And so I like teaching. I love educating others and sharing knowledge. I grew up at a time in a city where we had these big billboards that used to say knowledge is power. It took me until I was in my 40s to truly understand what that meant. Knowledge is not power unless you disseminate it. You have to give it away. And so I've learned to share everything that I've learned in life with anyone that is willing to listen. And so that's why I chose the field of education, because there's so many people out there that's willing to learn. They just don't know how, and they certainly have missed the opportunity to engage with those that have some kind of influence. And I believe in influencing others. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my gourmet cookie company here in Wichita. It's the only African American gourmet cookie company in the state of Kansas. But we're a national distribution. We're in 4 states already in 38 locations. I ship to hundreds of diabetics across the country. My cookies are in the Weight Watchers program. Everything is well on this end. So coming to Atlanta and receiving such an honorable, I cannot overemphasize the fact that this is truly a blessing for me, and I know it has to be for of the other people that will be in attendance at this ceremony, to know that someone recognized you for not only who you are, but for whom you belong to. And so I'm grateful for that. I will be eternally grateful for that. It's not about the chancellor being my daughter. I'm grateful. Yes. Oh, make no mistake about it. I love that DNA connection. That has been such a that I cannot overshadow that. But in the process, I've watched her grow. I watched her learn how to manage herself and understand her capabilities, her vulnerabilities, her areas of opportunities, and certainly her strengths. And a lot of people recognize that. And so when you start dealing with competing values, you have to stop and ask yourself, is it worth it? And so is this opportunity worth it? And I'd have to say yes, because it gives me another opportunity to share with others that yes, you too can do this as well. And so I'm ready for the sharing of what I have learned in my life to the other people.
Well, I'm grateful for this moment. I got a little teary. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. You just made the tears dry. I was like, I'm gonna keep it together right now. I'm doing my very best. But I am overjoyed, and I'm just blown away by both of you. I'm just blown away by everything you said, and I can hear it in your voice that you had a radio voice. You got to know the radio voice. You got to know that someone's been in front of the television screen or the radio, and you're like, listen, I know how to command this arena here.
It's what I do. It's what I do for a living, and I'm not bashful, nor am I ashamed. I can do that craft.
Yes.
I know that's right. And I'm just listen, as a media professional, I'm just sitting here like, this is what you do. This is how you bring and you draw someone in, and that's exactly what happened. So Dr. Fraser, he said, I know that everyone else is feeling some of what he's feeling. Excited. What are your actual feelings? You are amazing, having amazing accomplishments all in itself, right? You are amazing. But this particular step you're about to take, how do you feel? Because you heard what Dr. Cole said, right?
First of all, I thank God for, and I call her Kay. So I guess I'll have to start saying Dr. K at least. At least call her Dr. K. But I thank God for this young lady because I watched her grow up. I watched her as a young lady. She's still a young lady, but younger lady. And I even shared with her today how she used to do my hair many years ago, when she lived in Philadelphia area. And we went to the same church. We belonged to the same church. So I watched her grow. And I used to, she used to say things to me to encourage me. And I told her earlier today how, when she would talk to me, I'm thinking, what is this young girl talking about? But what she was saying was true. She would speak things into me as an older woman, and her wisdom was just beyond her age. So to watch her now having her own university, and I tell you, it's amazing. And just to see the lives that she's touched, and even watching her on social media, when I'm getting more involved with that now. But watching her grow and develop and touch so many lives, and I know some of her struggles, I was there when she had certain struggles, and to watch her triumph, I just want to say, Dr. K, you are truly a testament of what it means to have faith in God. Because when someone has true faith, it's motivational. It's something that, yes, you're going to have your struggles. You're going to have your pains. You're going to have your valley experiences. But that faith in the dream that God gives us, it keeps you going. And I know Kay has always been a dreamer. I know, when I think of her, I think of Joseph. She's always been a dreamer. And even through her pains and her disappointments in life, she continues to soar, and I sit back sometime and I said, I was sharing with my husband different things Kay does. And it's like, we're scratching our head. How can one person accomplish so much, especially with all that they've been through and gone through to reach that point? So I know that her life, it has blessed many, but I know God is going to use her to bless so many more. And through this university, this is such a great thing, because so many aspire to get degrees, to get higher education. And she's putting that platform out there for people to be able to jump on and do like she did, do something, present a life to God that is pleasing, that is something that other people will see. And like the Bible says, they'll see our good works, but they'll glorify the Father. So I'm excited. I am excited about becoming Dr. Karen. People have called me Dr. Karen for so many years. So I told them, okay, now you can do it. You can actually do it. But I thank God for Kay, because, and I'll say this real quickly, because I can talk all day about these things. But I got my master's in Christian counseling, and my professor told me, go on and get your doctorate, because you're right there. You only need, a little more, you can go. And I told her no. I said, you know what, I want to focus now on my business, building the business, and, really getting involved in doing more of what I want to do. So I pushed that aside. And then Kay messaged me one time or called me and told me, and I brushed it off. I said, oh, yeah, that's nice. It sounds good. And then, but she kept on, and that's how she is. She's not going to let go. But she kept on. And so I just thank God for her. I can say more, but I thank God for this opportunity. Thank God for this platform. Thank God as Dr. Father Cole. So it's a pleasure, sir, meeting the father of such a wonderful daughter. Yes, thank God for using you to bring forth this gem in the earth and what she's accomplished. So yeah, I'm going to stop because I could just go on and then I'll start crying more and more.
Right? We all say, listen, when the Spirit of the Lord is here, right? You can tell it just overtook every one of us, because we see the power of the Lord just flowing through. And you very rarely get to see a father and daughter celebrating. You're celebrating your daughter, and then she's honoring you. It's like woo, woo, woo. Like it was just like a boomerang. I'm celebrating, but it's coming back to you. So the blessings just keep continuing to overflow. So when you're doing teaching PBS, the entrepreneur with the cookies. So my question is, will the cookies be in Atlanta?
Eventually. Eventually. They may even appear at the graduation. We never know.
That's not really meant,
He's gonna
Oh, yeah. We'll make it happen.
Okay, because that was a powerful question that was on my mind. Like, I'm gonna wait on it, but my question is, I would like.
We'll make it happen. Oh yeah.
So what made you decide, or where did the cookie recipe come from?
Well, mine's is a registered trademark recipe now. But I lived in Germany. I think I mentioned that earlier. And they have a cookie over there called Pfeffernusse. And now my cookies are about the size of your fingertip. And that's why they're called little bits. And the motto is the tiny cookie with a big taste. I have two different brands. One is like an original little ginger snap. They're in the Weight Watchers program. I have a little over 300 women that put them in their smoothies. We ship down to over 500 diabetics. That's the original cookie. And then I invented one about a year ago called Coca Mocha Bites. It's for coffee and chocolate lovers. And so both of them are doing extremely well. In fact, I'm in the process now of turning people away just so that I can maintain the level of success that I wanted to maintain, because I can outgrow myself. And that's something that my mentor experienced themselves, and that's Famous Amos. And so I wanted to make sure that I did not run across that same experience.
You said your mentor was Famous Amos?
Oh, absolutely. I have quite certainly. I have a book signed by him. I brought him here to Wichita to speak at a seminar and a conference. Oh yeah, very much so. Oh yeah, I'll show you the pictures when I get to Atlanta. Oh yeah, and now he's back in the United States. He lived in Hawaii for years, and he's back in Tennessee now. He still He still bakes cookies. At the age, he's well over 80 now, and so he's still doing his thing with that. So I learned a lot from his story, and his biography, and I want to make sure that I do things just a little bit different, thanks to him.
Thanks to him. So, do you have a book coming out? Like, I'm just,
I
are you
do, and I
planning
didn't
it?
know if Kelly wanted me to mention something like that. My company is called Good Life Company, and my cookies are called Little Bits, and my book will be called How to Live the Good Life a Little Bit at a Time. And like Fraser, it's about my life. It's about all of the characteristics of growing up without your parents and living a successful life and being satisfied where God has you, because a lot of people are not satisfied with where they are. And in fact, you should embrace the happiness that He provides you right now. And then continue to wait, because if you believe, good things will always happen to you if you just wait. So this is an opportunity. This is something that I can't say that I waited for, or nor did I long for it. But me having someone in my life that says, I don't want to say aggressive, I want to say as certain as the chancellor is, I'll use that word, as certain as the chancellor is, I knew that at some point in time that based on our conversations, particularly when she became a grown woman, the conversations we would have until the sun comes up, over and over again, and then picking her brain, trying to determine exactly how she's thinking about certain things, and then soliciting advice, and making inquiries about what we should do and how things should be done. It's a blessing for me because it feels like I gave something back to society. She is my gift to society, because a lot of people embrace a lot of her ideology. They embrace her spirit. They embrace her acumen, and they embrace the person that God has made her. So I'm going to just continue to just do these as often as I can, because I feel worthy of it, and I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful.
I love it. I love it. Dr. Kalai. You heard it all. You've heard it all. I'm gonna say this before Dr. Kalai says it. I was thinking you have to do an audible book, like the audible, because I was hearing your words too. Like, man, I can listen to a book that says, this is what you need to do. I mean, I could just hear your voice through audible. So I hope and pray that you do some type of audible so that we can hear your voice, because I love your actual voice. It's like, hold up, I can hear that in the book.
I hear that. I hear that every day. Every day.
I am most certain of that, because I'm like, okay, yeah, the voice. Dr.
Thank
Kalai.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
So my cheeks are hurting because I'm sitting here smiling the whole interview, right? because I'm so grateful to hear the words. Like, I'm tearing up because when you hear somebody's perception of you, it really, it doesn't matter how strong you are or how confident you are, it really gives you a boost of morale, like to really hear people talk good things about you and, really reinforce what you truly feel and know about yourself. To hear Dr. Fraser talk about the struggle, um, that's the part it made me tear up because I don't really disclose those pieces. They will just see the victory. They won't see um, the pain, the suffering. I started to go live yesterday and talk to people that life is not a crystal stair. I don't know if y'all remember that poem growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And life is not a crystal stair. And even if a person is doing well in your eyesight, you have to know how much they sacrificed to get to a place. This season cost me everything. Like, I literally wanted to go live yesterday and really but I had like a stomach bug. I was like recovering. But this season of my life cost me my whole entire old one. It cost me my whole old life. Like, I have no attachments to anything. It's like going off of a cliff, like you're zip lining. Like, you jump off and there's no floor. You're really just holding on to God. That rope, that whatever you're buckled in with, that's just faith. That's just hope. That's just, confidence. Just every aspect of self that you would need to hold on, because it's nothing underneath you. I have nothing to go back to. So I can't even pull a Lot's wife and turn around because I have nothing to see. You know what I mean? I lost the love of my life going to get to this next level. I literally had to discipline with just sexual appetites. Like, and y'all know, transparency inspires trust. I will be me until the day I leave this place. And it's like, just to be in a place of leadership. And I'm looking at some of my friends now, just how they're walking into pastorate and they're walking into, being upped in ministry or actually accepting the call on God's life. Like, or God, the call that God has on their life. For me to be 38 years old and realizing that I'm the new auntie, I'm the new, like, I'm up next in this thing. Like, we're up next in this thing. Like, this is our dispensation of time where the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, it's like, you got to really make your mark right now, because this is our time. Life is not a crystal stair. This is not something that is just you come here and lollygag and play around. So my life has been a representation of all of those deposits, like from my father, from the Karen Frasers, to the great leaders in my life that have put so much in me that you can't fail. I had somebody prophesy to me years ago, and I don't think the woman understood how scary the prophecy was. She hugged me and she said, if you fall, you are going to cause so many other people to fall. And I was like, well, what kind of encouragement is that? Because now I have so much on me. When I wake up in the morning and I think about Good Life Christian University and I think about the people and the grace that is on this university, it's like, I can't do the wrong thing. I can't misstep. I was on the phone with Ashley Biden today, and I was talking to her about Good Life Christian University, and she was just saying, like, thank you for those who don't talk about Joe Biden's daughter. And she was just saying, thank you for all that you do. And I said, and she was like, I was going to get back to you, but I was busy, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking. And I said, no, I said, I just didn't want to be court slacking. It's not even about me. it's not about, you know, oh, we need these people here, we need this press, we need this. I have people that I want to leave a mark with them. I want them to say that this is the best experience I've ever had in my life. I want them to have things that are memorable, to bring smiles to other people's faces, to bring information, knowledge, and wisdom and understanding, or any form of illumination to somebody else. That has always been the goal for me. But that cost me a lot, because I tell my son, and I'm about to cry, y'all. I tell my son all the time, I'm like, I would have been a stripper in Las Vegas had it not been for Saya Cole Hill. You know what I mean? And listening to you guys' testimony saying, oh, I grew up troubled, or I grew up, you know, this way or that way. If I would have had my own way and not truly surrendered to God, I would not be as fulfilled as I am right now. This level of fulfillment, I feel like there's so much purpose in it. It's really the good life for me. When I was talking to my father, the good life, as you can see, comes from his company. I was sitting on the patio where I'm sitting right now, and all of the letters for universities were taken. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Dad, I was like, he's helping me. He's on the computer on the other end of the phone searching with me. And he's like, no, that's taken. No, LCU is taken. We're going through all of the names. And I said, Dad, I was like, what about good life? And I didn't know how he would feel with this. Like, am I good enough to hold this brand name? You know what I mean? Because like he said, it's trademarked all over. I'm like, well, and I said, you know what? I said, Good Life Christian University. I said, Dad, see if GLCU is taken. So we go in the system database and we're looking again. GLCU was open for us. And it was just like, okay, Dad, like, what are we going to do? Because he's my mentor. My father is my biggest mentor. He has so much information that I have to come to him. Every business idea, especially education based, GLCU would not be GLCU without Greg Cole. So I have to say thank you, Dad, for allowing me the space to vent, to cultivate ideas, to be myself. I thank you for not have stifled any part of me. Oh gosh. Like he's always nurtured those pieces. Like, if no matter how crazy the idea was, I can remember I said, I was like, Dad, I want to be a talk show host. And I don't know if he can remember this. When I first got saved, I was like, I want to be a talk show host. And he was like, a talk show host. This is how he'll do me. He's like, a talk show host. And I'm like, here goes the line of question. And he's like, okay, he wants to know, how serious is she? You know, and he'll do exercises. And it's like, I know he's doing them, but I know they'll be beneficial. So I have to go along with it. But I said all that to say that every idea that I have had, down to Good Life, when I started, he said, okay. And I just felt like, and I told him, I was like, Dad, well, do you believe in the vision? I was like, I'm doing this, I'm working this. He was like, we looked at the website, what was it, 3 a.m. And he was like, well, that's good. And I caught a little attitude. I was like, well, he not if he ain't feeling the website. And I think that's probably the first time I ever saw me cut your attitude. And he just looked over, he said, okay, I think I'm going to go to bed now. but he just, and when we woke up, I was like, Dad, I said, you know what? You're getting to know layers of me, like he said, as a woman, as an adult. So for me to have his approval, it was so important to me, because as a child, you know, you want to have your parents' approval. You just want to hear, you know, that they're excited for you or they want to be a part. But what I learned in this Good Life journey, and I'm going to leave it like this, is that this was something that I to jump out the plane for the first time alone. And it wasn't like the people didn't want to jump with me. It was that this has a certain grace on it that only you carry. And sometimes, y'all, you might want people to go with you, or you might want people to be on the same rhythm at the same time, with the same beat, with the same drum, with the same word, with the same accord. But it might not work like that. And sometimes you got to just say, I'm going to jump. And guess what? When you get down on the ground, those same people that you wanted to jump with you, they're already down there celebrating your perfect landing. They're already down there clapping that you survived that storm, that you came from that altitude. So that's what I had to realize with this jump and with this leap for good life, that everybody, once I got to the ground that I wanted to be there with me, they were cheering for me at the end of the jump. So I thank you guys for clapping. Sorry, my phone had went out. I thank you guys just for clapping, for cheering, for being a part and being on the ground with me when I landed. Because this idea could not have come into fruition if God did not already place on the hearts of those people to be a part of this great institution. And it's not mine, this is ours. This is something where I'm like putting our stamp everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, GLCU is coming out of my mouth. We are in the White House's mouth. We are in the paper's mouth. We are just in Google's mouth. Everywhere I go, I'm making sure that GLCU is getting the mention that it deserves. And I thank God, like I said, for Dad, for giving me the authorization just to play, to say Good Life could be used, or Good Life is something that I could actually produce and actually go forward doing with. So I'm thankful just for that release. But I'm thankful for every graduate that is coming about. Like I said, I'm trying to emotionally compose myself tonight. I'm thankful for every graduate. I truly am. I finished my White House letter today. Just to see every Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award go through, and just to, oh my gosh, like, who would have thought? And I know this, and I keep saying it, y'all, it's not about me. Like, who would have thought that a Black girl, period, can be able to communicate with the White House and have these types of abilities to say that I want this person to get this type of recognition. This person needs to be seen. Like, that's not anything that's small. This is major for us as a culture, as a community. You know what I mean? For my father, like he said, he's going to keep doing those. For him to say, oh, my daughter is in communication with the president's daughter, they talk on the phone. Like, that's a big flex. You know what I mean? Like, so we can't take this lightly. Like, this is a big deal. And I want every graduate that comes from GLCU to be a big deal. Like, my goal is to not gatekeep information. Like my father said, you have to excavate that knowledge. You have to give it away. I've always been a giver. No matter what, I'm going to tell you how to get some money. I'm going to tell you where the money is. If the money is not there, we're going to find out where they moved it. You know what I mean? It's just that simple with me. You know what I mean? And because when I win, everybody else wins. It's no crowd participation where people are downtrodden or feeling like they can't come up or feeling like they're just stuck in a rut. No, you have to be able to be that person to pull your brother and sister up. And it's not a handout, it's a hand up. I'm just making sure that everybody, and I have a motto, I will help you up off of your knees. I will never help you up off of your behind. Because helping you up off of your knees is an indication that you were once standing or you're trying to get to that place. Helping you up off of your behind is a completely different story. That means that you're lazy, you're not applying yourself, you're not ready. I don't deal with those types of people. But if you on your knees and you down on your luck, you guaranteed to get a hand up over here. Because that's just what we need. That's just what we need in this time. And I'm glad that every leader that's coming through GLCU has that in them. They're already leaders in their respective places. They're graduating with their PhD in leadership and business. They are already ruling. You guys are already doing your thing in your respected industries. That grace is just going to pour over into everybody that you touch. So I'm grateful. Sorry for my tears, but it's like...
No, don't say sorry for the tears. You know, God, look, he's bottling up the tears. Come on.
But yes, I'm so grateful. I see our admin on here, Joe Diamond. I'm just grateful for everybody, our Board of Regents, everybody that has come along on this journey with Good Life Christian University. I just can't wait for August 24th because it's real. Like the regalia is on the way. It's real. You know, the room is being set. It's real. Like everything that's happening, you know what I mean? It's real. It's going down.
It's going down, y'all. I'm excited. Never apologize for the tears. I think we've all shed a tear right about now. You can't help it because this is just an amazing time. I think it was Karen. I think you said something about you're here to have the abundant life, and we don't have the abundance anymore. What does abundant life look like for you? Is it spiritual, financial? What is the actual, describe the abundant life and what does it look like to you or for you?
It's wholeness. It's really being sound physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, in every way. The Lord said, if you seek first his kingdom and all of its righteousness, he said, everything that you need shall be given to you. So whatever we need to complete the purpose for which God has placed us on the earth, when we have that, that's abundance. That's abundance. And being able to utilize that which God gives us to help somebody else reach their purpose. You know, it's like a domino effect. You know, when we are walking in our purpose, automatically God is going to put us in connection with those who we need to be connected with for our own growth and also to help them in their growth. So, you know, it's a one another ministry. It really is. And that's wholeness. That's abundant living. Yes, that's abundant.
That is definitely abundant. So how about you, Father Cole? Let me say.
to always remain present. Stay in the present. You know, the book of Matthew ensures that I do not have to worry. I do not have to worry about anything. And so therefore I don't. And so, and then to highlight a couple of things that the chancellor mentioned, the key to success is only known to those who have not yet succeeded. Keep trying, keep waiting, and you'll find your joy, you'll find your pleasure, you'll find your gain. But you have to wait it out and make it your own. And so I say, always stay present. Stay in the present, and good things will follow.
That's powerful. Stay in the present. I mean, for some people, we get over it. You could be in the middle of something good, but somehow your mind will go to what you don't have or what you wish you would have had. So that had to take some type of practice to be able to stay in the present. I mean, unless that was always a gift that God gave you. But how did you learn to stay in the present when it could be calamity going all around you?
And there will always be calamity. There will always be conflict. There will always be drama and trauma. And so there's a season for everything, but you still have to be in the present of where you are. I learned one time, I was sitting in the barracks in Korea, and I remember reading something that says this: happy the man and happy he alone, who he today can call his own. He who is secure within can say, tomorrow do thy best, for I have lived today. Be fair or foul or rain or shine, these joys I have in spite of fate are mine. Nor heaven in itself, nor the past has power. For what has been, for I have had my hour. I have always believed that. God has placed me here for a reason. I don't have to question that. I don't have to question why Good Life Christian University exists. I do not have to question why we are here right now at this moment. It is mandated. And so when we all interface with each other in Atlanta, it will be a joyous occasion. It will be a memorable occasion. It will be one that will infuse other people with a purpose. So this is all good. Everything about this has goodness written across it. So I'm
Ooh.
blessed. And I will always believe that I am and know that I am.
Woo! Let that be a powerful word for anybody out there, because I mean the human side of a lot of us don't get to that place, and they have to hear it to actually get there. Because I've had my questions before, and I'm like, God, well, why? Well, why? But you just said stay in the presence, and we're present, and we're blessed. That is amazing. So Dr. Kalai, so hearing your father say stay in the present, and you mentioned that you don't talk about the trials, you don't talk about those things. Is that because you believe that staying in the present, is that what you learned, is that why you didn't talk about maybe some of the trials and the pain?
Yeah. So and it's funny because culturally a lot of things have an impact on how we're shaped and molded, right? So I just recently lost my Uncle Edward, my mother's oldest brother. And I tell everybody the story. When he was staying with us in Philadelphia, he had given me a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I was 10 years old when I first read that book, and it truly changed my trajectory. Like every step of the way, I had a positive thought. I always thought that everything was not happening to me, it was happening for me. And I knew that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. I knew I was called according to his purpose. So no matter what happened to me, I knew that God was doing something for me. It could be a room full of thousands of people, and I would say, God put this together for me. And I didn't know. I would start seeking out God. So you know how sometimes in bad situations people will lean to the negative side. I was always so enthusiastic and just excited because I'm like, oh, if I just got let go, that's because God about to give me a promotion at such, God about to give me this job at such and such. So people would be like, girl, but you literally just lost everything. And I'm like, no, that's because I'm about to get a big house. Like, you don't understand. You know what I mean? You don't understand what God is doing. That's always been my disposition because of the training that I have. I tell people all the time, I wasn't raised, I was trained. I had a lot of training when I was coming up. I was not raised. I was indeed fact trained in terms of communication. I was indeed fact trained in terms of thought process. I was indeed fact trained in terms of relationship and in terms of faith, in terms of education. Everything about my life was training. And you can put it to the military background. You could put it to the authoritative parenting that my mother had, God rest her soul. It was just a whole combination of faith and what you are to expect from your life. And I knew that it was in my hands. It was never in somebody else's hands. As long as it was me and God, and I knew that if God be for me, he is more than the world that's against me. I could never lose. So I never experienced the loss. So it's not that I live in this fairy tale world that the struggles and the hardships of life don't happen, because they do. It's just that my mind towards the affliction is that it was good. It was good. Everything for me, it was good for me to be afflicted. It was good that that man left me. It was good that I lost that job. It was good that I didn't keep that house. It was good that my car was totaled. It was good that my son was abused. It was good. All of these things, it was good. because when I look at the outcome of what God does with a situation, I can even talk about my son. When I look at where he is now, I said, God, no matter what we do, even in our own poor decision making, he still will make it good. My son got into 3 different criminal activities when he got to Georgia, and people didn't know that they were clinical because of his mental health. So, you know, I was going through all of that, but God turned it around where he got favor with a judge who was retiring after 30 some odd years, and my father was in the courtroom present. This judge is in love with my son, and he says, it is good that you are in this situation, because you are now at the age where you can take advantage of some of the opportunities that may not have been allotted to you years prior. So while Saya thought that he was getting himself into something terrible, God made it good. So in our poor decisions, in our struggles, in our trials, it can still turn out a better way, but you have to be in expectation of that. Your heart has to constantly be in expectation for something greater. That's not something you just inherit. That's not something that I'm just saying, oh, it's good. Your heart posture has to be there. So as long as you keep that in your mind, that it's not a fairy tale, but this is good. God, where you at? I just lost such and such. God, where you at? You know, I'm going through this. God, where you at? So you just got to call him out on his word. And he loves to be called out. He loves for you to challenge him and say, you know, oh, God, well, you said in your word. And Matthew, oh, yeah, give it right back to him. Give it right back to him, because he could show you. And he likes, like, oh, okay, Karen thought that I wasn't finna do what I was going to do. Watch this. Oh, Shelly thought that I watch this. And then you wake up to miracle signs and wonders. But that's because your heart was positioned to look for the green light. So if you change your lens of life and you change what you're focusing on, that will be the deliverance. That will be what you will see manifested in front of you. And I don't mean some spooky manifestation. I'm talking about speaking things that are not as though they already were, and seeing them walked out in the physical realm. So it really, it's not that I negate the struggles. It's just that I don't look at it as a struggle. I look at it as God is about to take control of this situation. So it's just about changing your outlook.
Which is powerful. And you talking about, you mentioned that it's good, and you know, he turns it around for the good, and you realize, you know, no good thing will God withhold from us. And it's just Good Life Christian University. The good is right here. You just lined up the goods in so many positive ways. It's like, yeah, no good thing will God withhold. So why would we sit back and worry about anything? Because he's not going to withhold anything good, because he wants you to have the good. So that's why we are here, right here. Good Life Christian University. I hope y'all caught that and how good it is. And I want your life to be good too. So if you have not taken any courses, if you have not elevated your life with some type of education, some type of knowledge, I need you to go to thegoodlifecu.com, thegoodlifecu.com, and go ahead and click on it. There will be a course. There's a course for that. You wanted to learn that? There's a course for that. Go ahead to thegoodlifecu.com so you can honestly get a part of this good life. Get a part of this good life. Hey, you see the firecrackers? Do I got some too? Do I have some? My firecrackers ain't going off. Come on, firecrackers. I didn't get a firecracker. That's okay. But I got the good life. I got the good life. So Karen, Dr. Karen, you mentioned building your business, what you're doing. So tell them how they can get a piece of what you have to heal their bodies, heal their minds, heal their souls, heal their spirits. How can they? Because I know you have the fit for the Lord type of business. Tell them about that and how they can be a part of it.
Yes, Fit for the Masses Youth Conference Line. And that's every Saturday morning, 8:30 to 9:30. And we have a conference call line. We talk about anything from anything dealing with spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, financial, relational. Right now, we're doing a series on relationships. So we talk about some of everything, and it's an open forum. We have questions, areas for that. So that's on Saturday mornings, 8:30 to 9:30. I don't have the number in front of me, but if you go on my Facebook page, Karen Fraser, you will see the flyer for that. Also, they can go to my website, which is Healing Leaves, the number 4, the letter U.com, healingleavesforyou.com. That's my business name is Healing Leaves for You, LLC. And I'm getting used to these handles, Instagram handles, I think they call them.
Yes.
But yeah, you can find me there somewhere on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, you'll get it. Let me tell you, I believe it.
But just contact Dr. Cole or Shelly Shell.
Listen, she's going to get it because we believe in the power of using what God gave us. To me, I believe social media is something God gave us for free, that He allowed us to reach millions and right here on this social media streets. But we are definitely everybody. Listen, I know you need to get on that call on Saturday mornings at 8:30 a.m. What else you gonna do? What change your life? Change your life. So, Dr. Gregory Cole, tell us how. I mean, I know the cookies aren't necessarily in our area, but will there be an online component where they can order off a line?
No. And that's intentional. So let me be clear. I teach entrepreneurship. I teach marketing. I teach all of those courses here for 2 different colleges. And one of the things I teach my students is your word of mouth is solid gold. So I have no Facebook. I have no Instagram. I have no what until now today. No website. No none of that. And I'm a national brand product. So word of mouth is still the number one means of communicating with people. And so I use that to my advantage for my students. And so now I have a little over 12 of my graduates that are now business owners in this community. I will say this, without any of that social media attention or spending $1 on marketing in 14 years, that if you plug in Gregory Cole and Good Life Company and Little Bits Gourmet Cookies, you better grab some popcorn, kick back in your recliner, and reserve yourself a few hours of seeing everything about me. And I did not pay $1. So yes, I don't have social media. Social media has me.
Where's the mic? I want to drop it. I want to drop the mic. Yeah, I don't have a, I have a crayon. I'll drop the mic for you.
Yes. Definitely knows something. He definitely knows something. And I tell people all the time, they're like, yo, your father is on the news again. And I had to ask him, I was like, Dad, well, can you get Good Life on the news down here? He literally knows everybody. Everybody. It's like he's like a walking PR, a walking public relations. Everybody knows Greg Cole. If I Google my father's name, I'm like, oh wow, this is a lot of articles. Never mind. But that's a big flex. That's a big flex. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Y'all gonna see me in a rare form on August 24th when it's time to confer Dr. Cole. Y'all just don't.
Woo! You talk about tears now. It's going to be some tears. It's going to be some shots. It's going to be, listen, the praises. The praises.
Yes.
Awesome. So awesome. You have inspired, all of you have inspired, uplifted, changed the mindset. I mean, everything that was necessary for the next phases of our life, the present phase of our life, really is it's taught so much, so powerful. I am so amazed. I'm thankful. I'm just grateful for this opportunity to just this opportunity. Never thought it would be this, but so grateful for this opportunity. Never expected it. So everybody, I'm telling you, if you want a piece of the good life, I need you to go ahead. It's pinned right there, thegoodlifecu.com. You need to go. we love to celebrate each other, but more importantly, we want to celebrate you. And the way we get to celebrate you is if you go ahead, click the link, learn more about, click the link, then get you a course, and then we can celebrate you, because that is, the celebration continues. We may be coming on August 24th, but after August 24th, the celebration continues, because we get to celebrate you and the next person and the next person, because that's why we're here. So keep going. Thank you so much. Very, very, very. Wait a minute, you got firecrackers again. Where's mine?
I told you.
I'm showing out. I'm
Where's
showing out.
so?
Then I told you earlier, I said, once my father get a hold of Instagram, he gonna learn how to work every little piece of
I know, and I'm still trying to get some. Where's my
Click
firecracker?
on that one, yeah.
I can't get a
Here
hard.
they go.
I can't get one. Let me see. I can't get one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your father was.
Yeah, well, I have to learn that trick.
He brought the firecrackers because it was meant for you. I hope you do stay on Instagram, because I love it. Well, you know I love it. I love social media. So I do hope you use it to the ability that it can. It's just what I do for a living every day. Social media. So y'all, it's been amazing. Guess what? I get to see you very soon. Less than 30 days on August 24th. And everybody, you are welcome to find out more about it. I wasn't going to say you're welcome to join us, but if you have a friend, make sure you say, listen, I want to celebrate you, and I don't mind. I'll come to Georgia to celebrate you. Yes. Do that. Do that for your friends, because you know somebody. But thank you to everybody who is listening, watching, and partaking in, because I know you were blessed. I know. That's one thing I know for sure, that you were blessed today. Any words, Dr. Kalai, that you want them to come check out thegoodlifecu.com?
So tuition, because fall courses are open as well. So everybody who comes on the live, it's for the live viewers. They get 25% off of tuition if they sign up and register the day of the live. So if they type in Good Life after they fill out their college application, they will be able to use Good Life to get 25% off of their tuition. And that's every live Monday. So you guys can use the code Good Life to register for life coaching courses, to register for the degree programs, a one-on-one session, anything like that. You can use code Good Life, and it'll take 25% off of your tuition.
Woo! Let's go, everybody. And I know you heard her say life coaching, and I'm saying that life coaching is a buzzword. As a certified life coach, I'm saying that the opportunities are there. And if you've been thinking about it, if you've been saying, this is something I know, people come to me all the time and I give them advice. But however, giving them advice without the right information behind it, without the skill sets behind it, without all the knowledge behind it, you could be doing them a disservice. So I suggest, if you want to pursue the life coaching as a career path, go to thegoodlifecu.com and get that 25% off. Oh, I don't think you heard what she said. 25% off.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with that. 25% off. When it comes to knowledge, you do not put a stop on it. You keep going. Write your goals for this week and make one of the goals going to thegoodlifecu.com and putting that 25% good life code in, so that you can become that life coach you wanted to be. Because I know you wanted to be it. I know you've been talking to some people, but they need you to go ahead and get that certification. That's what they need for you to do. All right, y'all. It's been amazing. I look forward to seeing all of you on August 20th. It's so sweet. It's the fireworks again.
I love it.
It's just on command. Like, I'm trying to fight to get it, and you just on command. Like,
I can't get it.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look, I'm fighting to get it, but that's okay.
Right.
Wait a minute, Dr. Fraser, you have You have
Hey, I'm experimenting.
See it. It's
you have
good.
some oh, look at that. You got some lights and
I'm
wait a minute, you got
experimenting
the
here.
hearts. Hold on,
That's her
where's the
glow.
heart?
That's her glow.
That's the glow. Listen, if this is any indication of how much fun we're going to have on August 20th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th, this is it. So thank y'all so much. It has been my pleasure, and I'm so grateful to have met you, talked to you, and I'll see y'all on the 24th.
I love you guys.
Thank you,
Love
Shelley.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Shelley.
love
Thank
you.
you.
Looking forward to meeting all of
Yes,
you.
Likewise, indeed.
yes,
Thank you.
yes. August 24th, y'all. We'll see you.
Okay. Bye, Chancellor.
Yes, have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Goodbye,
Good
Chancellor.
Good
night.
night.